I am a Buddhist. I do not actively choose my religion. I follow Buddhism to follow my parents' family tradition. My parents took me to the temple and took refuge at a young age, which means I have a Dharma name, which means I am a child of the Buddha. My mother said so I know it. Then my mother taught me to be a vegetarian, so every month I fast for 4 days. The 14th and 15th days, which people often call the full moon days, and the 30th and 1st days, if any month is missing, I eat on the 29th day, which is calculated according to the lunar calendar of each month. I like being a vegetarian, I really do. I find that being a vegetarian makes cooking easier and cleaner, because I only eat vegetables and no meat or fish. Then as I grew older, I saw that people were preparing more and more diverse vegetarian dishes. People imitate salty dishes like pho, beef noodle soup, and bon can, which are all vegetarian foods, so they are both delicious and pleasing to the eye. I also often followed my mother to the temple when I was young, and then I don't know when I really enjoyed going to the temple. There is solemnity, there is silence, there reminds people of the holy things of life, and there I always feel more peaceful and safer. When I grew up and had my own family, I still kept the tradition my parents taught me, which is to be vegetarian for 4 days a month. And in my free time, I still go to the temple at any time, but my husband has to take me there, so I almost never go alone. There are 2 times a year when I am always present at the temple, that is on the first day of the new year. I go to the temple to join in the jubilant Tet atmosphere of many people dressed very beautifully, because of Tet. I light incense sticks to pray for health and peace for all my family and everyone. And again on the 8th day of the lunar calendar, which is 1 week after Tet, to pray for peace at the beginning of the year. The meaning of the worship ceremony is the same, praying for good health and everything going smoothly throughout the year. I wrote that so everyone has probably found the answer for themselves, whether spirituality exists in this life. I think not only has spirituality been present for a long time in people's lives, from the smallest, closest, and most familiar things of people such as eating, drinking, walking, and even in living things. Daily personal activities too. Spirituality resides right in the soul and body of each person. And I believe that regardless of whether people are religious or not, as long as their hearts always live in a good direction and always think and wish good things for everyone, that is spirituality. Because I am a Buddhist, in the Buddhist scriptures or in all the temples I have been to, people always admonish people to try to do good things and stay away from evil and cruel things. I stopped talking about Buddhism here. I just want to say spirituality in my thoughts and emotions is living uprightly, doing good deeds and being angry at crime, that's all. And I see that the saying of the human world is still valid even after thousands of generations. I hope people will always remember that the sky has eyes. I wrote a little about Christianity, which has as many followers as Buddhism. But I also often go to churches during Christmas holidays. I go partly out of curiosity and partly to hang out on Christmas Eve. I find the churches to be as solemn as the temples in the religion. My Buddha. Then people performed the ceremony and sang many beautiful songs. There were many times when I was immersed in an indescribable emotion, a feeling of holiness and respect of the sheep turning to God. And I think no matter what religion it is, people still wish for the best things for this life, People still advise people to know how to do good and useful deeds, live in harmony, and love each other.